Hi everyone, it's Athena. Happy Monday, the 28th of June, 2021. Okay, I'm going to use the Tarot Royale for what's been going on, and I'm going to use the Vice Versa deck for what is to come. All right, let me shuffle and see if Spirit has any downloads for us for today. Okay, if you believe that something can actually, well, we know this, don't we? But for some reason, Spirit is wanting to remind us that if we believe that something can actually happen for us, right? We really have to surrender the outcome. We have to surrender to the outcome. You just have to trust. So I'm going to say that I feel that Spirit's telling me that's exactly what it is. Spirit is saying we don't trust enough. And that truly is an imposition on the things that you have wished for, hoped for, wanted, and will achieve. So believe and then just let it go and allow Spirit to show you the way. Because when you put so much thought into something that you want, right? And if you don't take yourself out of the equation and surrender fully to it, it's not that it's not going to happen. It's more like you have, Spirit really wants you to trust. So you have to really find it in your own self to surrender. So today's about trust. Okay, what's been going on? Let's see. The Sun card. I saw it at the bottom of the deck, and so did you. So be happy. Have we been happy? Are we feeling more energetically sound? That's what I heard. The planets are pushing forward now. There's more of, so, okay, so this is what I'm hearing. When we get out of a retrograde period where we are in the shadow, right? When we're in the shadow, we get into this, it's like crossing the bridge. So we're now crossing the bridge from what we've been going through, which has not been easy, to say the least, to this happy place where it is truly, right? Like jumping for joy, very happy, contented, energetically, much more energetic and having more self-esteem. So we're crossing that bridge from what was to what's to come. There it is. What was and what's to come, right? And whether or not, and I'm hearing this, whether or not you are going to push forward with your armor on, it doesn't matter. Spirit saying at least you're pushing forward. Queen of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius is pushing forward, see? And then we have Leo. And we could feasibly say Leo, Aries, Sag, okay? So pushing forward, she holds the Queen of Swords holds the sword of truth, right? So her truth is illuminating what has been and what's to come, right? That's easy, but it hasn't been easy, to say the least. You finally gain some peace for whatever has happened here, right? The Knight of Wands. What has happened? What has come? What comes and goes in your life? We have to kind of like roll with the punches, right? And I'm hearing oh my gosh, that movie. I'm seeing him in that movie. Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire, if you've seen it, you know, not about Tom Cruise. It's about the moral of the story. The moral of the story of Jerry Maguire is you have to put everything out there, right? No matter what. And he did, right? He wrote a small thesis of giving more people, his clients, more attention, right? That's what he wrote about. And he went to bed, right? And he surrendered. Okay, let's go back. He surrendered and was thinking the evening of, before he went to work one morning, of what is it that we can do to give others a sense of feeling like they belong, feeling important again. How could he be devoted again to his job, right? Through the way that society, ego, has taught one to just do the job, get the job done, don't put any heart into it. But he gained a heart that night. So he wrote about it in Jerry Maguire. He wrote, let's give people more personal attention. Let's have less clients, but more attention to the clients that we have. This is what this is about. This is what someone's been going through, right? It's not how much you have. It's how much you have to give. And then in the morning, what happened? He freaked out and said, holy crap, I have to, retract, called the office, trying to retract more heart and more love and caring and devotion for his clients, but he wasn't able to. And so the story goes, as we know, or you don't, the story goes that by having one client, and he gave his full undivided attention to that one client, he gained so much. Not about notoriety, not about money. He gained his integrity back. He took back a part of him that exploded, that was imploding and exploding nonetheless in one's life. So that is what has happened. It doesn't matter how out there, how many subscribers, how many people want attention or need attention. Your truth is that brings you happiness is the fact that you're giving whatever you got your all. Let's get another card on that one here. See? Just giving, and that's what the lesson is here. That's what this lesson is. Surrendering, which Jerry Maguire did. He had to surrender everything that his ego and his ego in the working world of the matrix, right? The big company, right? Very well established, making tons of money. But where did it get him? He lost his identity in the meantime. So he had that one, he was brought that one client after he had the epiphany, right? He had this epiphany. He wrote it. He wrote it down. He wrote it in that memo. And he said it was just a memo, but it wasn't just a memo. So Spirit gave him one client to fully focus on, right? And that client brought his identity back to self because he completely surrendered himself and did probably the most what he thought at the time was the most stupid thing he ever did when he woke up and he said, holy crap, I have to retract that memo because, I'm going to look like an idiot. But he couldn't retract what he had written. He had written his truth. Queen of Swords. And Spirit said, okay, I'm going to give you this one client, and you're going to give this one client all your attention, which brought him back to a place of self-esteem, integrity, gratitude. And it wasn't about the money, it was about the love of the game. So part of the surrendering, part of the crossing the bridge, what I'm hearing is surrendering to needing that kudos or that whole fame and fortune for something that touches your heart instead and touches others' hearts. He didn't think it was going to work. He didn't. He took, because he was only left with one client. So he took that client so he wouldn't lose his complete sanity. Okay, so let's see. This is the epiphany, right? This is when he saw the light of the new day, of the fact that I've been juggling, because this is 7 of Cups upright, right? And this is reversed. This is the epiphany. This would have been the illusion of this epiphany. He could have kept going in the illusion that more clients, more money, blah, 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 what corporate wanted him to do. But instead he had the epiphany like, wait, hold on. That's not making you happy. You're losing yourself. Illusion. You're losing yourself. And here he's not. He chose to follow Spirit, the light, which right here, it illuminates what is more important to you. Is it the money, the power, the hunger, the sex, the this, the that? Or is it, wow, hold on. At the heart of the matter, at the center of what really matters here is to help others. So he got the epiphany of which he changed his whole dynamic. He took one client and he brought that client everything that client needed and wanted. But nonetheless, it was a struggle, right? So what? He made a decision because it was an epiphany. The decision to change his complete structure of how he handles his clients had to be let go. It was causing him too much grief. And it wasn't grief in terms of, it was causing too much havoc in someone's life, in this guy's life. He couldn't do the job that he had first. Why did he, right? Someone said, what made you get so hungry for the money, the power, the this, the that, the fame, the, right? Wanting that made him and changed him into a person that he didn't recognize. That was the night he had the epiphany, right? So he struggled with it, right? What are others going to think? What are others going to think? And I've been doing this for so long, the same way, every day. But the epiphany came, nonetheless, and said, it hit him hard. It hit him hard, this epiphany, because that's what surrender does. It hits you hard, and it brings you down literally to your knees, to the point where you're like, okay, now I have to really change this up. And how did he change it up? He became the person again that he was meant to be. He took one client because he only had one left. He decided he was going to take that route. I'm going to do what I'm being told to do, and do it from the heart. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And I'm going to show up, right, to the world. I'm going to show the world my heart. And that's what he did. So he went, and we can say it feasibly, he went from a place where he thought he needed to do the same old to gain the attention, but it didn't work. So what you've potentially thought was going to work and who you've become somewhere along the scope of this Knight of Wands, where something has been taken, like something happened, where surrendering of your identity had to happen, right? It's something happened where you're not feeling the same, like I'm not the same person anymore. Like, who am I, right? Who am I if I'm not feeling like I want to take on another emotional, heart-centered, whatever that is to you. All right? Because this is about the storyline is about the moral of the story, right? So what happened was the epiphany was you're not going to surrender unless you surrender what you think, right? What you think you know. This is the epiphany. Get out of your head, right? And it's not going to be easy, and it hasn't been easy because you've been fighting against the current. You've been fighting the battle for at least, 9 months, 9 years? Come on. You're broken down. Masculine and feminine here. Masculine and feminine. And what is it? The epiphany is, who am I right now? And what do I want, and how do I want to show up? How do I want to show up to the world? And how have I been showing up to the world? I've been totally showing up, just doing what I've been accustomed to doing, right? And doing it to the point where when I get an opportunity or I get something that may be able to touch my heart or make me feel like myself again, I'm going to have to completely change it up and get out of what was into a sense of bringing a new identity to the table. And this new identity is something that gives you that understanding that only the heart will show you and teach you the truth of what makes you happy again, right? This brings you happiness again, right? It's the epiphany of what happened to someone who lost themselves in the mix of, right? Be that corporate America, be that, well, I've been doing this for years, and this is how I've always done it. I've always thought this way, so I don't know how to change it up to think something differently, right? That's when you get stuck in your own self-sabotage. That's your own self, right? Because we started out with the Sun card, right? We started out with the Sun card. But what makes one happy, right? It's not it's the surrender of and the fight of fighting off an identity that no longer holds any value, while your heart is the last card, let's just say. If you go with your heart, you'll take that cup and you'll understand that this is an opportunity to get back your self-worth, self-esteem, your vitality again, because it comes from the heart. It comes from the emotions. It's not from what you think you are, but what you are from your heart center. Got it? And that's what this person has learned. That to walk the Three of Pentacles, that to walk and do work and go and move forward in your job, be that in the way that you feel about yourself, right? The Three of Pentacles, well, now I've got to I want to expand my identity and who I've become and who I believe that I am now, right? Whereas this is what's coming. Someone is going to be walking a new pathway. Look, see? Someone's now realizing that this new pathway holds much more happiness and security of self-esteem, self-worth, self-valuing, self-will even, if you will, because of the Sun card here. We started with self-will, vitality, right? And we want to stay in that mindset, but somewhere along this journey of this storyline, someone got shuffled in the mix of, well, what are they going to think of me if I don't do what I used to do all the time? Got it? I always used to be this way. So someone had this epiphany again. Someone found the light of a new day to go within. And this depicts the exact movie of Jerry Maguire, right? He kept going. Money, fame, the company, the big company, the who am I just got lost in the shuffle, right? And then he realized after the epiphany of going through, well, I've lost myself here. I've totally lost myself. And I have to get back to my truth and what is it going to take? And that's when Spirit handed him, right, this cup. Spirit said, okay, if I give you this one client, that's who you're going to focus on completely. And as crazy as that were, he did it. He went back to the drawing board. He got the epiphany. He realized that, okay, if I get out of my own way, right? If I get out of my own way about, okay, it's all about the money, the power, the hunger for, the desire for, all that, as hard as it's going to be, and I've been struggling because I've lost a sense of myself in that mix, in that in this story, right? I have no other choice. I really don't, because that's not working. This isn't working. So I have to bring back myself. I have to get back to myself. And the only way to do it is with this King of Cups, which is, let me show people my heart once again. Let me really feel my way through. And let me cross that bridge, which is this. I have to cross that bridge through my heart chakra in order to gain my self-will, self-growth, self-esteem once again. And this is what happens when we truly surrender. As the beginning of the reading, as the download came in, what brings us back to our center can only be gained through the heart, not through the head. When you get lost, when we get lost in our head, it is all about the egoic desires, wants, needs, what society deems to be pretending. Like this, that's a pretender, right? We pretend when we use our ego. That's the mask. But then when the mask is revealed or unveiled, more like, then we say, holy crap, who are we? And that's what happened to McGuire. So that's the story for today, is Jerry Maguire's story of getting back to the truth of your own heart, of your own center, cross that bridge, and take your time to see what really true surrender does mean in actual terms of surrendering. It is not by any means an easy feat whatsoever. It is not. However, if you want to gain your identity back and your vitality as you were at one point, integrity, dignity, honesty, loyalty, gratefulness, and not humility, but humble, that is when you surrender completely and you trust. And it only can come from your heart. Have a great day, and I send you so much love.